Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about how I financed my EP, because it is an interesting story and one that maybe at some point I'll go into even further detail too, but I want to at least scratch the surface. And the reason I think it might be interesting to you is because I think it could be somewhat of a roadmap for those of you who really want to do something but maybe don't have the financial capital to do it in that moment. So a little over a year ago, I started recording this EP that will be coming out soon, September of 2017. And at the time, I was a couple months into starting Steel International, which is my branding agency. And so the timing of everything was congruent and a little bit difficult, because for those of you who have started a business before, when you start a business, you usually don't have a ton of money coming in all at once. And then the money that is coming in, you usually use that to reinvest in the business to help it grow and grow. So as far as music went, I didn't have any kind of financial capital to be putting into the recording of an EP. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the recording process, while technology has afforded us all of these amazing opportunities to record music at home, I wanted to record in a studio. I wanted that professional sound. I wanted a producer. And so I came up against a dilemma, and here was the situation at the time. That was September, rewind 2 months into July, and I had just gotten a band together. We had this huge show that was incredible. It went so well, and right afterwards, I lost 2 band members. That sounded really dramatic. They didn't die. But one of them was in several other bands, needed to leave, and had just started another job, and then the other wanted to go in a completely different musical direction. And so it was understandable why they quit, but that had been like the 4th iteration of a band I had gotten together. So understandably, I was really frustrated, and I just thought, instead of trying to rebuild a band over and over and over and over, I'm gonna make a recording and approach this musical creativity path from a different way, because everybody had been telling me, you need to get a band together, and I had put all of this energy over a period of 3 years putting bands together that would just fall apart, and it was so frustrating. I was so burnt out. I was in a mental space where I was like, if I can't create some forward momentum in getting some music recorded and getting my creativity out there, I've got all of these songs that I've written, then I'm ready to quit. And I was so incredibly frustrated, and I just thought, okay, if getting a band together isn't going to work, then I am going to somehow figure out how to record. And the timing wasn't ideal because I had just started this business. But for those of you that know me, you know that I'm incredibly ambitious, and when I set my mind on something, I just go after it. If I have an idea and I feel like it's going to work, it's like rocket fuel, and you just can't stop me, which is a good aspect, a good characteristic most of the time. So I set in my mind in August, I'm going to get a recording done. I have no idea how I'm going to finance it. I don't know how any of this is going to work, but I'm going to figure out how to do this. And at the end of August, I went to a restaurant with my husband, and I'm going to talk more about this in another video, like some videos that I'm going to do leading up to the release of the EP. But we got to this restaurant. It was totally jam-packed. There was a huge wait list, but they said, if you want to sit at the bar, that's fine, and we'll serve you at the bar. So we decided to sit at the bar. Well, behind the bar, so serendipitous, is a gentleman named Owen Hunt. And come to find out, he owns a studio and he's a producer. So as we're chatting, eating our dinner, Owen and I get to talking, and we go, what if we collaborate? And so this is the part where I think it might be interesting for those of you who have a dream that you want to go after, or you want to create something but you don't know how to finance it. I was so incredibly fortunate to partner with somebody who had a different skill set than mine, but he was in need of my skill set as well. So my skill set is creativity, it's branding, it's marketing, it's communication, it's messaging, writing. And Owen had just opened up a studio, and he was starting another business as well. And so over the course of a couple of meetings, we decided that we would do this equitable work trade where he would give me studio time and he would produce my record in exchange for me helping him brand and build a business. And so this gorgeous symbiotic relationship occurred, and I believe very much because I set an intention. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do, and met somebody who, and just as a side note, I didn't meet him, that wasn't like the first thing. I don't want those people out there who are following their dream to think that things just line up automatically. You know, sometimes you have to kiss a few frogs before you find your Prince Charming. But I set that intention of, I am going to get this recorded. I don't care how I do it, but I'm gonna get this done. And then serendipitously met Owen, and over the course of a year was able to create something that I am just so excited and so proud to be sharing soon with you guys, all for about $500. And that was for, you know, paying studio musicians to do bits and pieces. I leveraged my creativity so hard because as I was recording this, I just didn't have the cash to be putting into it. I had to put the cash that was coming in into the cash generating machine, which was my business. And music isn't always the most lucrative thing. So I try to go about this as wisely and as logically as possible. And the way that I was able to do that was to leverage my creativity. And so any opportunity that I had to do a work trade, I was able to. And so this whole EP, the recording of these 3 songs, cost about $500 in total to get it recorded. And those of you who are familiar with the music industry, I mean, some songs that you hear on the radio are upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars for one song to be made. And so it's kind of a miracle that this was done to the degree of quality it's been done with the budget that has happened. And I credit that to the people that I worked with, but also just setting that intention of like, I'm not gonna allow anybody to stop me from getting this done. This is what I want, this is what I need to do, and I'm not gonna let anybody get in my way, and I'm not even gonna let the idea of money get in my way. I'm gonna figure out how to get it done. And I'm just delighted with the result. It might not be perfect, but it's the best that I can do at this point in my life. And another reason I'm so proud of it is I didn't depend on anybody to come in and save me. I used my own smarts and my own creative skills, my own strengths, and I leveraged those to get this done. And so I tell you that because I know there are so many of us out there who have a dream and think, well, I'm gonna need 20 grand to do that, or I'm gonna need so-and-so to hop on board, or I'm gonna need X, Y, and Z to fall in place. And what I want you to know is you have the power to get the ball rolling. You may not be able to do everything by yourself, but you have the power to get the ball rolling. So don't do a disservice to yourself and make excuses along the way. I've been so guilty of doing that in the past, and I didn't allow that to happen in the creation of this EP. And again, I'm just so incredibly proud of that. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it. If there's a dream that you have and you don't know how to finance it, there is a creative solution for getting that thing financed, for getting it going. No, don't bark. I've got a little friend with me here today, and then 2 more friends upstairs who are like, oh, mom's recording, it's time to bark now. But again, I just want to encourage you. I feel like the more people that come alive in this world, the better this world is going to be. So whatever your dream is, there is a way to figure out how to get it done. And if you want creative problem solving in that, shoot me a message. I would love to try and help you figure that out, because I know for me it's brought me so much joy, and more joy is just going to beget more joy. So let's make the world a more joyful place by following our dreams. If you have questions, comments, anything, please direct message me. Leave me a comment on this video. I love hearing from you guys. But just know I'm 1000% in your corner. If I can do it, you can do it. So let's just go make the world our oyster. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Also, I forgot to add yesterday when I was filming,
Happy Thanksgiving! This
video is coming out the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I hope you guys have the best mini break and time with your family or friends or whomever. Happy Thanksgiving.